All right, y'all. Um, Welcome to the, I guess you say, the next installment of the Dorian Adams Motivation Podcast Focus Group. I just do want to acknowledge, first and foremost, a huge amount of thanks to everybody that's joined on the call, because automatically you got to know that I feel like you're special people to be in my life, and at the same time, the way things happen is going to be special that you're on this call. What we discuss, what you discuss in this forum, it might benefit somebody else, but like I was sharing with somebody earlier, it might just be designed to benefit you, right? So I want to take a 10-second moment of silence and let that be the invitation to the creator, the God that we understand, or whatever you want to name you want to put on the supreme being, and invite him, that entity, into the discussion, into your comfort zone. So 10 seconds. All right. Lights, camera, action now, right? So hey,
there we go.
Let's get off into it. The topic that was chosen for this call is spiritual conditioning. And to me, that says a whole lot. If I just let my mind roam, freely. And I said spiritual conditioning. That was how I phrased the topic, but it's kind of hit me a little bit better to say spiritual fitness, right? And the reason for that is because, yeah, of course, it's conditioning, but when I think about fitness, I think about it's quite a few different areas of our life where we say fitness and we automatically get it. Like somebody said, how are you fit financially? You know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's a no-brainer, bro, because you're trying to get that money right. Yeah, are you financially fit? Are you, let's say, how are you fit emotionally, right? These are some earmarks that we're familiar with. But in this context, we're going to say, how are we fit spiritually? What is the level of your spiritual fitness? And just to take it a little bit further, it's more or less about, as far as this topic, for what I really imagined how the conversation could develop, it's more or less about, if I'm looking at my financial fitness, if I'm looking at my emotional fitness, I can acknowledge that at times I've been so uncomfortably built in those areas, and ultimately it's okay. But at the same time, it's like a lot of times how I manage those, the fitness of those departments or those areas in my life, how I manage it is mostly dependent on how I'm fit spiritually. Because if I'm bankrupt in all that I do, if I'm just an emotional wreck, that has a lot to do with the condition of my spirit, right? And so I just wanted to just throw it out there. and just ask somebody, anybody, to just chime in on where that takes them to, just off the quick introduction. How are you? How are you? How are you spiritually fit? How do you feel like you are spiritually?
Well, Doran, we've talked a few times, but the group doesn't know me. Hey, by the way, I'm Robert. Nice
That's
to meet
right.
y'all. Hey, honestly, I'm working on my spiritual fitness. Recently I told you before, I've come back to church within the last couple months. You know what I mean? Um, over my divorce, I had walked away for a while, and God put signs in my life and people in my life that it was undeniable that I needed to get back. He put people in front of me that um, made it clear and present that not only was I hungry for it, but gave me the courage to go and get it. So that's what I've been concentrating on my last few months, getting in on my Sundays, going to church, being present. And I think that's a big deal for me right now. Just being present in the moment, being present in the lesson, being present in the day. So many times we're looking backwards or forwards, we're anxious or we're depressed, and we're not quite ready for today and to listen and to be able to hear what the Lord is telling us, right? Or so that's what I'm working on now. Is just being present, being willing and open to hear the message. Whoever I'm talking to, walking down the street, shaking hands with somebody, people have something to say. It's whether or not you're willing to hear it or willing to hear the lesson or the message. Sometimes you're not meant to. Sometimes the message, wasn't for me, but, maybe I can pass it on some way. So, that's kind of where I'm at.
Dang.
Hey, is my mic on?
Yeah,
You mic'd up, Mike.
Okay, let me chime in. Hey, brother, I appreciate you sharing that. One thing that I've noticed in life and coming from my past and everything that I present now and the way that I'm able to move now, me and Dorian, like the respect you gave Dorian is the respect I give him always, right? I listen to you. Is it Brother Robert? Robert?
Robert. Yep, it's Robert.
I heard you. One thing I noticed is like, Dorian Jack, Robert, you Jack. I'm like y'all little brother. I'm Jack. I see my other little homie over here. He gonna be Jack one day, but his mentally Jack though. And it's just the way that you move. And I feel like we reach a space in life where I'm being so careful right now. Give me a minute. We reach a space in life where we present an appearance to people that they want to gravitate towards. Like there's something about your physical presence that allows people to get comfortable because you provide a certain level of comfort for them. Now, when you provide that for somebody, you can idealize. You can say, you know what? I know you've been moving in this way, but this ain't really the right way.
Oh, deep.
Right? Like, I know you look at me like I'm personified this type of person, but there's something more to me. Yeah, I work out, I got muscles, but you know what? You need to get in here and in here. I gotta look like this and have these muscles because me having these muscles and being this certain type of person is going to allow you to soften up because you look at me for protection. You look at me for protection physically, but you don't understand is I provide a different type of protection. A type of protection comes emotionally, spiritually. It's just my physical presence had to set you off balance to accept what I can really give you. Right?
I like that one, Mike.
I feel that.
I like that.
Man, Hey, can y'all put y'all muscles down? No, I'm the little brother though. Come on.
Hey,
Hey,
so
Everybody
hey,
looking
Mike,
up. Hold on, guys.
hey, man, come on.
Hey,
I
Hey,
hold
like.
on. What I'm gonna say this though to
Okay,
y'all,
come
bro.
on.
And hold on. Put my other homeboy in there though. Put him in there. I gotta see him too.
No, she got her thing off.
Okay, but you know what though? What I'm saying is that we provide a different level of connection. We do. Like when bosses talk to bosses, you know the world is about to change in the best way. In the best way, because everybody around us looks at us about what we provide based on perception. That's the back window because now when you talk to them, they weren't expecting it. They were not expecting that to come out of your mouth. They just wanted you to be the dude at the door, security, keep fucking with me. That's all they wanted. And then when you said, okay, I got your back, they're like, oh, thank you, Jesus. But then you came whisper in their ear and they're like, hey, what is you doing with your life? What do you mean, what am I doing with my life? You're not supposed to say that to me, muscles. No. You think that I'm only muscles, which you don't understand. God put me in this world. A being, the universe put me in this world to look like this. But who I truly am, this is the tip of the iceberg.
Come on.
There's so much more here and here, but I can make you comfortable because I look like this. I look at
That's
y'all,
word.
I'm like, bro,
That's
like
word.
any given day I walk in the room, Dorian, the first time I see him, like, I don't know about this dude. Second time I seen you, you shot at me. What's up, bro? Hey, don't take none of my weights home with you. Off top, I'm like, I know this dude. Right? Jason?
Who that?
Jason is the homie's Jason, right?
No,
On the call right now.
no. Earl is Earl, me, you,
Earl.
Earl, Robert, and then Tyler.
okay,
Okay. So no, the homie right here. Your shirt say fear
We
not.
can't see we can't see that.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know.
His shirt say fear not, bro. That's his statement.
Okay, gotcha.
That's his statement. Like, really, it's the statement. It's the mantra where I'm like, bro, like, to be a part of this, you taking on something that nobody else has the will to. We are all doing that right now. We should all take a 5-minute break and pat each other on the back, bro.
Right.
We really should, because the dynamics of what we're doing right now to establish a safe haven for us to be able to talk freely about life, connection, connectivity, like being men and like men, not, you know what? I'm not going to dumb it down. Being people in this universe, we are all searching for an interconnectivity level right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So wait. Rob.
Yes, sir.
I like that. That was a crazy segue when he just said that. Because that's what I want to ask you on based on what you said. Because that was my question that I had next for you, Rob. Is what how do you view your spiritual fitness? Like where you at? How do you view that? Like,
oh man. Hey Dorian, you know, for me it's a fight. You know what I mean? Because there are so many things in my life that want to drag you negatively, you know. And so for me, I'm constantly fighting to stay in that light. You know, and remind myself that not only have I surrounded myself with lions that, you know, that'll run with me wherever I want to go. But I've also surrounded myself with people that want to put me first and put my needs and things like that over the picture for the group sometimes. You know what I mean? Um, so like I've had to change some things. I've had to put my church, going to church on Sundays first. I was blessed with the fact that, hey, the Lord made it easy for me, Dorian. He put a church right next to one of my gyms in the same building. So, you know, I'm showing
Amen.
up to the, hey, I'm showing up to the gym like, and they know me. They know me now. They know me at church. They're like, hey, here's this guy. He's coming in with this gym bag. He's gonna put it under his church. He prays. And then I'm right there to the weights. You know what I mean? So no, but they, like I said, you know, for my journey, the Lord said, hey, you know, we want you and we're going to line
Mm.
up the dots for you. You just got to listen. You just got to, you got to play your part. And that's what I'm, you know, that's where I'm at. So, you know, I've downloaded a
Mm.
couple of programs. I'm not sure if you know Our Daily Bread, but it gets you your word of the day and puts out a verse that you can listen to in the car on your way to work. You know what I mean? Got my Bible app that I also get my verse of the day, and it's good for me to get a message. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I try to read those things and listen to those things on my way to work to put me in that vibe. Um, can't always say I get it, but I try to make sure
Right.
I'm getting it. Try to make sure I get it 5 days a week. You know what I mean? I'm shooting for 7. Um, Shooting for that moment and that time in my life where I'm like, boom, I wake up in the morning and God's first, right? That's what I'm
Mm.
shooting for. That's the relationship that I want, that I'm aiming for. Um, and there's nothing to really stop me except for myself, right? We all know that. There's nothing to stop you from getting
Absolutely.
bigger except for you. There's nothing to stop you from
Absolutely.
accomplishing what you want to accomplish other than
Absolutely.
you.
Right,
Hey,
right.
So,
brother Rob, I don't want to interrupt you, but when you got a
yeah,
minute, I got a question for you.
absolutely.
So when you say I wake up in the morning, I wouldn't put God first. What is that purview? What does that outlook look like to you?
Mm,
Like, because I can generalize and say, oh, I woke up this morning, I want to put God first, but I'm like, okay, well, did I tell my neighbor that I don't like that I still love him? Right? Like, because I got a neighbor I don't like, but did I still pull his garbage out because he forgot? So I'm like, okay, brother Rob, like you said,
well, yeah, I mean, that's doing God's work, right? That's doing
right,
God's
right,
work and
right.
walking
But
in
I'm
God's
asking
light.
you, what did that
Um,
look like for you, though?
for me, it's, you know, making sure that I get up in the morning and Mike, dude, I get the reminder, you know what I mean? My Bible app pops up in the morning and sometimes I don't open it. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Instead, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting on the treadmill and I'm starting my music and I'm doing my 35, 40 minutes of fasted cardio
mhm.
when there's
Mm-hmm.
no
All that
reason not
grind.
to get my message. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
feel you, bro.
So,
Feel you, brother.
I I just want
yeah,
to
go
say something.
ahead.
I think just you know, just to answer him, you know what I'm saying, answer Mike. I think you know what I'm saying to have God on your mind, you know, the first thing when you wake up, it's just a blessing to wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, thank you,
Mm,
You
brother.
know,
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
just a blessing to wake up.
Just to wake up, just to be able to open your eyes, right?
Just to be you never know what the next person is going through. You know what I'm saying? It could be
Right.
something, you know what I'm saying, so out of the whack that you know what I'm saying, you know, it might be easy to you, but somebody
Okay.
else, you know what I'm saying, it could be, you
Right.
know,
But you made it though. You got another day.
that's facts.
mm,
Hey,
Facts. That's
thank you,
right.
Sam.
absolutely.
I
Hey,
appreciate you chiming in on that. Seriously.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought we
let me
lost you,
drop
man.
this one on
You
y'all.
came in with the slam dunk though, bro. You got to tell me coming down the lane.
No, no,
Hey,
you know,
me?
I was gonna, you know, I was gonna chime in, you know, I talked to Dorian a lot, you know, he's talking about fitness, you know, and one thing I've been working on is my mental fitness and my self fitness. You know what I'm saying?
Spiritually,
Uh,
bro. Yeah.
I think I had a you know
You know, I get on these calls, but you know what I'm saying, I don't want to keep saying over and over again, but you know, I suffer from PTSD, you know, and a lot and the PTSD just is just a one word, and people like, oh, he just suffered from PTSD. It's a lot of other things under that umbrella, you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know, come from anxiety to insomnia to whatever I don't, you know, but
Mm,
you know, and you know, I think I had the roughest patch of my life, you know, these last 5 years, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but you know, you know, but as a man, you know, when something hits you, you know what I'm saying, you either gotta adapt or fold, you know what I'm saying? And that's what that and I've always been at that. I'm a foster, you know what I'm saying, a foster kid, you know what I'm saying? I foster since
Right.
I was 4 years old, you know,
Okay.
and been to 8 different houses since
Right.
till I was 10. You feel me?
And
So,
each one got
you
their
know,
own
mm,
story or many stories to every one of them.
right. But I say this to
Right.
say this. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It, you know, what I'm saying is, you know, that makes me, you know what I'm saying, I can adapt to a lot of things. I've been adapting my whole life. You feel me? So, you know, like I said,
mm.
these rough, you know what I'm saying, these rough last 5 years been, you know what I'm saying, the hardest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been getting attuned to myself because I've always been the person that, you know what I'm saying, that can help other people. You know what I'm saying? And always trying to pull the family together, you know, always trying to lend a hand out. You know, I've always, money don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Money means something, but, you know, but I make stupid decisions to make, I choose my friends over my family sometimes, if you will.
Right. But you
Uh,
know, sometimes it gotta be like that, man.
no,
And
no, no doubt, no
and
doubt.
like seriously, and I feel you, and I feel like I feel the road. I'm interconnected with the roads you're going down, and like everything you saying, I'm picking that up. And I'm
Facts.
saying for us to have a forum right now, and we talking, it's a bunch of men that's talking. It's like we free to talk about the things that we think about, but we never say out loud,
Mhm.
right? So let me give you all the gratitude and respect for you sharing that with the forum, bro. Just not me. You chimed in on something that I said, but thank you for chiming in on what I said. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
nah, man, it's absolute. I'm saluting that too, for real, Earl. 'Cause you know we talk, and like I
All
feel like
time.
honestly, between the talks that me and you have, me and Rob, me, everybody on the call that we have individually, I feel like this is really on like a level of 2 right now. Cause we be having some knockdown drag outs, and I guarantee you it be some real heat coming up out of there.
All right.
But I wanted to say this right quick, and see if it could put some spice in the game. First of all, shout out to Earl for rocking the Nip shirt, right? Because it's so like I guess ironic that when I look at that shirt, and I didn't know much about Nip while he was alive, but through his music, bro, I got to listen to a dude that was tuned in.
Right.
His spirit was moving. He had almost, to me, he had like a Tupac spirit. Tupac moved generations. He moved me for years with stuff that he said. And that we on this call talking about spiritual fitness, spiritual conditioning. That's just like
Right.
you can't make this stuff up, right?
Right. You know,
So
some people
salute
they
for
have
that.
some people they can have that one word that have affected your body, your forward, your going forward. You feel me? That, you know what I'm saying, that powerful word you know what I'm saying, is the one, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, I listen to a lot of music, gets me in the mood to do a lot of things. You feel me? So I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now dude had a voice, man. He done said some stuff that I'll be listening. I'll be like, how can I share with people that this artist said something that was so that profound to me? Because he a different generation. I'm a Tupac generation, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh, fact.
But when I
True. I'm
listened
with
to it,
you.
it was timeless, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Right.
Pac,
Right.
he was timeless. But here, let me drop this for y'all right quick and see if we can, if y'all can help me or give me some feedback. Like, man, let me drop this. Let me start like this. When if I just was to ask you guys, right? Um, what if an alien spaceship just
Mm,
came and appeared, big,
mm,
small, whatever,
mm.
right outside? You know, how would you look? What would you think? What's the first thing you would think of? Because you know it ain't a game, it's aliens. What would you think? What's the first thing that's gonna come to your mind?
Grab my kids, grab my wife.
Ooh,
Right. Fear,
fear,
right?
definitely.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
Rob, same for you?
that
oh, I
end,
mean,
Right.
because you know what I'm saying, that would be the last time. If something happens, that would be the last time I see my kids and my wife. You never seen
Right,
something like
right.
this before in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That you actually see. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a
Hmm.
fear definitely, but it's protective also. You feel me? Because you
Right.
never know. You never know. You never know. You feel me?
No, watch. I'm going somewhere with this. What
Okay,
would you say? What would you
can I
say,
chime
Rob?
in? Whose
Hold
turn
on,
is
hold
it?
on,
You
hold on.
let Bob go next.
hey, honestly, man, hey, I grew up in the military, Dorian, you know what I mean?
Hey, what
And
branch? What branch, Rob?
oh, my father's retired Air Force. My brother flew B-52s. My middle brother was Army 82nd. So
I
yeah,
was in the
no.
Marine
Okay.
Corps, fam.
I
Oh,
was
there
in the
you
army.
go, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Look at that. I
thank
didn't
you.
even know that. Look at that connection. All
Yeah,
three of
You
y'all
know,
is
I think
military.
yeah,
all of us in the military.
yeah.
so
For
I will
sure.
say this:
Hold on, go ahead, Rob.
just knowing that if aliens are able to get here, boy, we in trouble. You know what I mean? Because we can't get there. You know what I mean? So if
Right.
you have the technology to get here,
Hey,
you have the
hey, hey,
Right.
technology to
Rob,
do some
No,
stuff.
let's keep it
please.
moving. What you got, Mike?
Can we
What you
pause the
got?
room right there? Can I please respond to that, please? I love what the fact that Rob just said. He said, if aliens can get here, we in trouble. I said, think about this, Rob. I got to say this to the whole room. Think about this. The universe that we lived in, supposedly, which makes scientific sense to me, is built on for every billion parts of negative protons, there was 1,000,000,001 of positive.
Hmm.
And they all canceled each other out. And the one particle that was left over out of those 2,000,000,001 particles that canceled each other out was positive, which means is this universe that we live in is going to always do right.
Hold on,
It's
hold
going
on,
to
hold on,
have
hold on, hold on, hold on. I got you.
hold
No,
on,
wait.
don't no,
Mike,
don't cut me off on that.
you got it. Hold
Don't
on.
cut me off on that. No. Let
What
me
would
finish.
you say? That's what I want to know. What's the first thing how you would respond to you seeing aliens
You know what I would
outside?
do is I would pause, because if in the evolution of technology and greed, if another species if survived nuclear warfare, because that's what they had to do, because every being in existence of this whole
You cut your mic
Hey,
off, Mike.
there you go. Hit your mic.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go.
based on war. So if they had a certain level of peace in that society where they could actually travel to another universe, I'm not worried about them. They got enough technology to disintegrate our whole fucking planet before they even get here. They come in here to observe us because
Okay.
evolution says, think about the evolution streamline of mankind on this planet. The
Hold
internet
on,
was
Mike.
created.
Hold up, Mike.
Internet was
Hold up.
created during World War II
Listen, bro, I'm
as a
going
form of
somewhere with this.
communication.
Hold on, Mike. I'm going somewhere with this. I got you now. I know that's a whole. I know you got that. The thing, what I was wanting to do is say, like, you got an idea of it. Rob came with something. Earl came with something. The first initial knee jerk response for most people is going to be based on what you've been conditioned to believe is going to happen if
Yes, sir.
aliens showed up,
Woo.
Yes, sir.
right?
Man, hey,
It ain't a
hey,
fact.
hey,
You have
I
never
feel, bro.
experienced that.
Hey, I'm feeling you. Let me shut up. Yep, you got
Okay,
it.
so let me rock with this because I got more. That's just based on conditioning. And the reason I even said it like that, because it hit me like that. But that's only one thing that we experience or we could possibly experience in life that we're gonna automatically respond to based on conditioning. I've never been exposed to an alien to think this motherfucker
Right.
coming to do something bad to me. You know what I'm saying? But now throw this one back. Remember E.T.?
Yeah.
Who old enough to remember E.T.?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hold up. E.T. was the homie though.
Oh, absolutely.
E.T. was the homie, right?
Absolutely.
So look
He
at
just wanted the phone home.
With his big glowing finger.
exactly,
Hey,
right?
facts,
So-
right? Look at all y'all laugh because y'all know it, right?
No, that's
the
what
phone home.
I'm
That's all
trying
he
to
wanted
that's
to
what
do,
I'm trying
bro.
to set up for you.
Eat a few
That's what I'm trying to set up for you.
Home.
Watch. So that was that, right? And that was just art, basically. That was Hollywood. But somebody was thinking to create that movie.
Facts.
But here's the deal. Side by side with that conditioning, we have to ultimately look at all the other things, all the other information that we are in possession of that we never question. We never questioned beyond the conditioning that society spoon-fed us in incremental bite sizes all our life, to the point where when the question of aliens come up, we automatically think this. We never questioned it. And it ain't a slight to nobody on the call. It's just that I know I can identify tons of areas of our life that we never, I was sharing this with somebody earlier, we never shined the disinfectant of light on it to see it for what it's really worth in our lives. So that's where I'm going with this, to say, how am I fit spiritually? And it's not based on what everybody else thinks. It's not based on what the next man experienced to share his story. Right? He got a size 12 foot and he wearing some size 6 shoes. I'm not gonna feel that. I can look at him and tell he's a little bit uncomfortable right now. Right?
Right.
But I'm not gonna feel that. He can tell me how I feel, even though I'm watching him, and I'm still not gonna feel it until I put my feet in them same shoes, especially if I wear 12.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, how I'm fit spiritually, how I feel, is that I'm trying to make the same connection as Rob, but I gotta do it in the same, in the one and only way that God is gonna allow me to do it. And it's one-on-one. It's one-on-one. It ain't out of, man, look, it ain't out of nothing I read. I get it. You read that. Nothing my homeboy said. I get it. You said that. My mama has shared information with me and passed it down. And I've ultimately made my own decision on how I'm going to connect with God, because I say I believe now. I got to figure you out. I got to find out. I ain't got to figure you out, but I got to find out where you at for myself. Because my spiritual fitness is going to depend on whether I find salvation. So I need to visit that and say, how am I spiritually fit? If I know that's where I want to be, and all of this right here is leading up to that. Right? One thing about that, I'm gonna let it ride and let y'all have it and give me some feedback. Like, as you can see, I'm pretty passionate on this one. But one thing I've noticed over time is that our conditioning, we're conditioned to expect a microwave result out of damn near everything, right? We used to have to walk down the street to go get a loaf of bread from the neighbor, or a stick of butter, right?
And it wasn't a problem. You remember that.
Exactly. No, but and that's the thing. But because we're so hand fed, we're so right now needy, that we've evolved technology and everything else like that, and information, to the point where we get it in an instant. DoorDash should be here. I ain't even got to get out my seat.
Mhm.
I can leave the door open. That joker bring it in for a tip, right? And so speeding everything up, when I say that, and we're talking about our spiritual fitness, spiritual condition, I noticed that people want God in the same way. They think I'm going to go from what I'm doing and what I'm feeling and what I'm used to doing to saying, I want God. And it's going to be an instant. Let me tell you something. When the last time you seen God do something fast?
Say that again, Dwayne.
When is the last time you seen God do something fast? Hey, when you was begging for patience,
Whenever you get a minute, I would like to chime in, but go ahead. I'm not gonna
right?
pause for it.
When you was praying for patience, when you was praying for the pain to be lifted, right? It wasn't instant, man. If you calling on God to get it done, it's not going to be instant, but he's always been there, you know? So just saying, as far as us trying to peel back the layers of being instantly gratified and needy in that way, it's going to take time to peel those layers and allow him to reveal himself to us in his own special way.
Well, no, absolutely, especially as we're getting older. I mean, Dorian, you touched on this just a second ago. We grew up at a time where that wasn't true. I mean, shoot, most of us on this call grew up before there were pagers.
Right. Hey,
And then,
hey,
and then hey, I was one of
I'm with you, bro. Before it was pictures, exactly.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I was one of those kids. You know, I've gone through many phases in my life, but I was one of those kids that, you know, I had my pager, my two-way or whatever, or, you know, I remember my very first pager, and I had my long, you know, pager chain went down to my ankles, and, you know, I had my skateboard and I was doing my thing or whatever. But I never had any change in my pocket to make a call back. So what the hell did I have you know what I mean? You know, so why was I carrying a pager in the first place? But no, my thing is this: is as we've gotten older, and we have gotten to the time where, you know, we have social media and the instant gratification, the like buttons, the heart buttons, the, you know, I love you emojis, all these things that make it instant for these kids, for our kids, for my kids that grew up in that time. It makes it, you're right, because I think it does make it difficult when you have to have patience for something, when you're seeking an answer that's not going to come immediately. You know, what I do is that's when I start diving into my reading. You know, that's when I start diving into my reading. Because I search for an answer through the word, or you know, I might even get on a call with one of you brothers or one of my older brothers. You know, just kind of, hey, this is what's going on in my life. You know, what do you have for me? You know,
Anytime.
Yeah, go for it, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like honestly, like, can you guys hear me? Am I
yeah, it's
disconnected?
fading
Am
a
I
little
breaking
bit.
up? I feel like I'm kind of static right now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, but now you can hear. Go ahead.
You're good right now, Earl.
Am I getting better?
Yep.
I'm good.
You're good.
Okay. So no, absolutely. Like, I talked to Dorian, and I'm like, man, there's something about the energy and provide. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, man, we got to evolve. Like, women are evolving by leaps and bounds every day. And I'm not sexist. I'm not, bro. I'm not sexist. But come on, we got to be real, though. Do you know how their network is, bro? Like, Google should blush. Facts,
Okay,
bro.
keep coming, Mike.
So how is it that women provide this platform for each other organically, bro? They don't even have to be on a woman could be walking out the door, another be walking in the door, and they can look at each other and they already had a sister connectivity and a
Oh,
whole
I got an answer for you.
ass conversation. Where guys, bro, seriously, we don't even look at it, we don't even think of but look, you going through the same shit I'm going through, and we can't even share a glance. And
Bro,
you
Mike.
being another man, hold on, bro. You being another man, I know your struggle more than any woman on this planet know your struggle. But I at you for 1 minute in the grocery store and see you on a date and be like, bro, that's the one, or bro, she ain't her. And I can't give you that energy where you accept me from me being the straight, just a dude, and to go through my own path and share that with you.
Mhm.
Come on, I hear you coming, Mike.
Let's give him
Here
a
you
second.
coming.
He froze off real quick, Mike.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
The dynamics of us being men, bro, we gotta grow together. We gotta evolve because we way behind the power curve, bro. We gotta catch up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, we are behind because think about it. You know, our daughters are taught to share their feelings and their emotional characters
Day one.
from the beginning.
Day one.
From the beginning. Yeah,
Day
hey,
one. What do we do?
tell daddy what tell daddy what's on your mind. Daddy's right. But you know what? No, my father didn't teach me how to share my feelings. Those were not conversations we had. You know what I mean? Hey, my father and brothers, hey, we learned how to use our hands before we learned how to use our words.
Come right.
So,
right. Because it was culturally a rite of passage. You have to be a physical presence as a man. You have to be emotional presence as a woman.
The day has changed though, Mike. The day has changed. So, where that level of masculinity is almost to the point where
it's evolving. It's evolving. It's evolving. It is. That's why we having this forum right now. And we comfortable about talking about this.
Because listen to what
is
both
because
of y'all
now we finally got to
both of y'all said. It ultimately is based on your conditioning. You just said it. How little girls get raised, how young men get raised. And it doesn't shine a light on where you can evolve to spiritually. It just says this is how we do it. And you accept that and you keep pushing. Just like we was talking about earlier about a man being able to cry or whatever.
Oh
you
man, come on, bro.
It's frowned upon. Right. So what we do when we bring those,
society says
exactly. When we
it's
bring
really those, go ahead, man. D.
I know we try to get it, but yeah. Who is that? Who's?
I think Mike's yeah.
Mike, go on and mute it if we got noise in the background.
There we go.
I think that's mine. I got my phone, but my phone get kind of weird when I'm outside my house to try to figure out to connect to my Wi-Fi or my tower. So
okay. Well, hold up. When we get when we get on into these conversations like this, and each person is sharing their thoughts. All right, Mike.
My bad, D. My bad.
So listen, when we sharing these different thoughts, all of that's fair, and that's why I love that we all understand that there's no right or wrong answer. But when we peel that layer, the first thing we identify is that this is what I always been told, because we all agree as soon as we talk about that, like the little girls being raised, young men being raised, and we all agree because we all heard it and we all experienced it, right? And the fact of the matter is that that is the level of your spiritual conditioning as well, if you're not tuning into it for yourself. If you're not peeling the layers and asking the question, ask deeper questions. That's one of the chapters in my book. And that really just, it doesn't say how you should do it or what you should ask questions about. I'm just throwing out the thought of ask deeper questions, because as soon as you start asking, you're going to see stuff that you need to ask questions about.
Yeah.
So what is your spiritual conditioning right now? And why is it important? Is it important? Can I get somebody to answer that from me? Is your spiritual conditioning important, and why?
Absolutely. Anybody want to chime in? Because if not, I'm about to go first right now.
Go ahead, hit it, Mike.
Before I have a bad connection.
No, stay where you at.
So this is
No walking, Mike. No walking.
Hey, raise your arm up too.
So, well, hold on. Let me grab my aluminum foil, bro. Let me get this. Okay, well, check this out. So this is what I was on today, because I was in my mind. D told me, he's like, man, you got to get on these calls. And I'm like, all right, bro, this is where I am. For today, it was for me. And truly in my heart, it was like, why should I allow other people to determine my happiness? Think about that, though. Like, seriously, I'm like, I done been in relationships. Maybe my cousin didn't like the girl I was with, or one of my boys liked her, said some cat stuff to me. It made me not like her because he was in his feelings. He really liked her. Now I got manipulated. Or like, I really had a job that I liked, and somebody else is like, well, why you like that job? You could do this. And I'm like, you know what, though? How many times have we been influenced based on us listening to outside noise when we should really be true to ourselves? Because if we're true to ourselves, be true to our connection that we have with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, that hit me so hard. And I'm like, I've been moving through life and I had to peel off these layers like a jacket. And I'm like, bro, all these times you made these decisions and you done did this in life based on what somebody said to you, and you felt a certain kind of way because you liked that person and their opinion mattered. I said, but why should somebody's opinion matter more than your own happiness? Oh, come on. Somebody come with me right now. Please, bro.
Facts.
Because if you think about everything you have in life and you got to separate, hold on, I got to set this down. If you got to separate these jackets and these layers and these onions, and you like, damn, what was me? And what a part about that decision that I made based on somebody else's happiness. But I'm giving them the strength to determine my happiness. And I'm still unhappy. Why? Because when I was happy, I didn't listen to me. I listened to somebody else.
Yeah, that's it.
That's sometimes it's called love.
I'm just saying.
What you got?
I'm here because I want the feedback, right? It ain't no right or wrong answer. It's what we share with each other. That's what this is about.
Right.
But I just got naked in the room right now.
Yeah, no.
I just got naked in the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna chime in. You feel me? I have, I've been with my wife since high school. You feel me? And I don't know if y'all know what I'm saying. Spanish and blacks didn't really get along in East Palo Alto when I was growing up. You feel me? So like, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of people telling me, I'm saying, oh, how come you ain't got no black girl? You feel me? Or you feel me? Because my wife's Spanish. You feel me? Or you could have did better. You feel me? Or you can even walk into her house. You feel me? I get cat calls, and all. You know how it is. You feel me? So you're saying I could have easily failed and be like, you know what? I should just get a little sister. You know what I'm saying? Get somebody else, or you know what I'm saying, or fold into the, you know what I'm saying, to what's out there. You feel me? But I kept my eyes, you know what I'm saying, straight. You feel me? That's the person I'm gonna be with. You know what I'm saying? Even though of course you're gonna have some bumps in the road, You feel me?
So you telling me that your story is the one that stayed true to what you was feeling in your heart, man.
Since 2002, since 2000, I've been.
I get to it. I get to it fast, but I hear your story though. You telling me right now, you sharing with me, you like, bro, I went through that. And what I did was I silenced that noise.
And I ain't gonna say,
I didn't
and I ain't
falter.
gonna say, I'm definitely not gonna say it was like, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to write that on paper. It looks great, you know what I'm saying, but it was definitely rock, you know what I'm saying, rocks in the, you feel me,
Hey,
all kind
my
of
hat is
obstacles,
fam,
and you feel me.
my hat is off to you, bro. I'm 46 years old. And like the point, this forum is a space that we can talk about things together,
Right.
right?
Thanks.
I have a certain level of respect that you was able to do that. But I guarantee you there's another aspect in your life where you weren't able to do it.
Say it one more time.
Watch this. I guarantee you there's another aspect in your life. What did you want to be when you grew up?
What I want to be,
Running back.
I think when everybody grows
Without
up,
any influence, at your core, with your
it, what-
earliest memory.
it has to be, it has to be influenced because you're a kid, you feel me? So it's what's going around you. It's
Bro,
not,
hey,
it's, you don't,
don't outthink what I'm saying, bro. Come from this is what we do. We provide a forum for you. Because here, let me share my story with you.
Fighter
I
pilot.
want thank you, bro. Come on, right?
Fighter
Did you
pilot.
watch Top Gun?
I knew exactly what I wanted to be when I was a
see,
little kid.
this the thing
Okay,
I want, this
so
the thing I want to say, this the thing I want to say. As growing up, and you're, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to offend
look,
anybody on here, you feel me? But as a black person growing up in the inner city, everybody wanted to be a football player, basketball player, because it
okay,
was
so
influenced in there. You was Jordan or you was Iverson. Come
okay,
on, man. You was Barry
yeah.
Sanders. That's all he was. Nobody was talking about being a lawyer or being a
Hold on,
doctor
wait, wait,
or
wait.
nothing
Hold on,
like
hold
that
on,
when I was growing up. You feel me? So
hold
that's what I'm
on.
saying. That's why it was influenced. You feel me?
The
Okay,
environment influences the man. Absolutely.
That's what I'm just saying.
absolutely. But let me give me a second. Give me a second. Let me bond with you, bro. You said when you was growing up, how old are you, bro?
I'm
Not you,
38.
right?
38.
You're 38. Okay, I'm 46. You grew up in the EPA?
Yep. Well, no,
Okay,
well, I was raised in Pittsburgh, but grew up in East Palto. Yeah.
okay, cool. I grew up in East Oakland, right?
hmm
Right.
Union
I'm
City.
46. I'm 46. You know what I wanted to be when I grew up?
What's up? It?
A marine biologist. Do you know why? I used to
What's up?
watch fucking Flipper, bro. The
Oh,
fucking
Come on.
dolphin, bro.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
without any influence. My teachers got a hold of me like, bro, your math scores is off the chart. Your English scores is off the chart. Your science scores, like, we think you should be in college. I was in the 6th grade.
Right.
They're like, no, you should be a lawyer or a doctor,
Right.
right? So because I'm a pleaser, I start transitioning and changing my life to be like, well, shit, maybe I should be a lawyer. No, fuck that, bro. I
Right.
should have been a marine biologist.
Right.
So my point that I'm sharing with y'all right now, and I'm like, there's so many aspects about life that we change our purview in the way that we look at life and what we want from life based on somebody we care about that we're trying to please. Right? Like,
Right.
okay, your family didn't shake you from your girl. I get that, bro. And then you didn't have a teacher that shook you from your dreams and what you wanted to be. But is there anything and everything about your life that nobody else gave you opinion about that you didn't like and made you stray from your course of your own true happiness? And that's what I'm bringing into this room right now. D, take it from there, please, big brother.
See,
Nah, that's
I
him.
want to chime in one more
Go
time.
ahead. Go ahead, Earl. I might
I
be.
think a lot of people were definitely ahead of their thinking. Sorry, hold on. I think a lot of people were ahead growing up than others. You feel me? A lot of, you know what I'm saying, mine was controlled. You feel me? Um, it's control. You feel me? It's, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people get more. You know what I'm saying, parents get people more leverage to go out there and spread the world. You feel me? Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, some people are shell. You feel me? And not really able to get out of that mindset until they know who they are. You feel me?
Right.
And when you know who you are, so that's what I wanted to say. People find out who they are you know what I'm saying, earlier than some people, you feel me? You know, that's just what it is. My first time ever doing something crazy was running away from my foster family and going to the military and calling everybody from my basic training. And that's
Right,
when I knew that
right.
I was a man. That's right there. That's when I knew I was a man because I was on my own. I had nobody else tell me something. That's why I didn't call no, you know what I'm saying? That I, I was out there. You in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. You feel me? And I'm from California, East Palm, you know what I'm saying? So that was the first time me actually stepping out, you know what I'm saying? I knew of myself, you feel me? But now I know who I am. I'm tuned to who I am. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Yeah.
Hey, look, bro. I'm gonna say this to
That's
you. Like,
powerful, Earl.
I
That's
listen to
powerful.
you, and I hear all the weight of the words that you're saying, and I vibrate with you, bro. Like, I pick up on your energy and your emotions and everything. This is what I'm gonna share with you right now. Earl is like, as you express yourself, I pick up on that energy and where you are mentally, and you like, am I getting my point across? You are absolutely getting your point across. Don't ever feel intimidated by the room, bro, or the words that people use. Like, I'm so much more comfortable saying some basic ass words as long as I can get the concept across, right?
Right.
Don't ever be intimidated by your surroundings, bro. Like, D supplies a platform that we can all be men in this forum and all respect each other, dude. So when I'm listening to you and I'm telling you how old I am, and you like, damn, okay, this motherfucker might articulate a little bit better. Like, that's not what it's about, dude. What it's about is what's coming from your heart, and that's what I'm listening to.
Okay. So yeah.
Because let me say this though. Let me finish. And what I heard you saying from your heart helped me grow. I learned a different perspective. I learned a different aspect of life. I learned somebody else's growth that came from, nigga, motherfucker, you right across the bridge. I grew up in Oakland.
Right. You're right.
So, bro,
I know you.
this is you like this is my
Dor-
era. And I'm like, bro,
Doris,
we were
Doris,
still
my
dreaming.
cousin. Yeah.
We were
Doris,
still dreaming. I'm like, what happened when they took the dreams away? And now you quit dreaming. The only thing you had was rap. I'm like, motherfucker, no, I could still be a doctor or a lawyer. And you said 10 years later, you couldn't have that dream? And I heard my homeboy Rob. Rob was like, motherfucker, I was going to be a pilot. I'm like, Rob, I remember that shit because I saw Top Gun, motherfucker. And, but hold on. But hold on. Rob's so motherfucking cool. Rob don't even chime in. Rob is like, this is what I experienced. This is where I am. And Rob just dropped that on us. Man, hey, Rob, I got to give you so much love to be a part of this forum, right? Without even discussing the pink elephant in the room. And I feel like you get it without me saying it. But you know what? In order for this world to change and grow, we got to provide more spaces like this for all of us to figure out that, you know what? We all people. We all want to provide for our fucking families. We all, at the end of the day, want to connect with people of like minds. And we all want to pass this shit along, bro.
right.
All right, Earl.
And
What
that's
you
what
gonna
dumbs this
say?
shit down to the most simplistic level.
Yeah. I just want to say, you know what I'm saying? I would never disrespect this room. You know what I'm saying? I'm Dorian's cousin. You feel me? It's sometimes.
I got you, bro.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
Why do
got
you
you.
feel like you're
Me,
disrespecting
with
anybody?
me.
I know. Why do?
Hold
Hey, D,
hold
what
on.
happened, bro?
Hold on. With me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like you should know. I'm military. You feel me? Sometimes I speak loud. I don't
Right.
say no bad words, nothing like that. So what I do is I lead by actions. See what people doing, what they doing actually, not what I think they don't think they gonna do. You feel me? That's you know what I'm saying. That puts mixed screwed in the whole conversation when you do that, because then you start you know what I'm saying, thinking that somebody else is doing something. You know what I'm saying, you just throwing out cancer sticks. You feel me? But you know, so
But the whole point I got.
that's how I express myself. You feel me? If I was mad, you know, I'll be cursing.
No,
I'll be outlandish. You feel me?
no,
It's
no,
just
no,
me.
little bro.
It's
Hey,
just a debate. You
hey,
saying
hey,
it's just a spar with words that we doing here. You saying?
No, hey, hold on.
bro,
Let me
bro,
let me let me
bro,
get
bro,
in there
bro.
right quick, y'all.
D, yeah,
me
chime
get
in
in
on
there.
that, D. Chime in, please.
Like for real, we started the conversation, man, and the first thing we did was invited the God that we understand and embrace and acknowledge into the conversation. So we got to understand that for sure that energy is bouncing through the airwaves and touching each person in their own right. Mike said something about how we peel those layers on different situations and begin to evolve into our given self, to our potential that we want to reach for, right? Because that's and in that acknowledgement, you acknowledge that, yeah, the stereotypes exist. Just like Earl saying, man, because that's the first thing I said, football, running back. Like, you know, this was some stuff that's knee-jerk stuff for me because yeah, I grew up with it. But getting to the new and the now you, the you that wants to expand and say, bump that. I'm going in the military. I ain't gotta ask nobody. That's God evolving you. That's God expanding himself in you, that you got way more in you than what everybody tell you do. Can't nobody tell you how much heart you got wrapped in your chest. Can't nobody, but what back to Mike's point is that they can create a reality for you if you let them. And so that's what this forum is all about, is identifying how much power that you actually have in relation to the God that you understand and believe in. Because you can put shackles on yourself, you can put yourself in a box, you can put him in a box with you. You can listen to what everybody else telling you need to be doing. All right, Mike, hit the mute button for a minute.
Let me hit mute, bro. I know I'm making a bunch of noise over here. My bad. I'm making a bunch of hey, no disrespect, man. I
Yeah.
love y'all, bro. Like seriously, I love the forum, man. I love to be able to talk to
Hit
like-minded
mute for
man,
a
bro.
second.
Yeah, I'm about let me hit that. Hold on. Give me a second. Hey. That's no. All right.
So,
Hold on.
but just saying, like, we have a lot of potential, way more than we can even imagine, but you can't even begin to reach for that potential until you acknowledge all of the miscues and the false narratives that we stand on. You stand in, I mean, you made up of a bunch of stuff that people just told you, and you just do it on autopilot by now because you conditioned to do it all your life. But when you start saying, you know what, I really do want to be, or I do like astrology, I really do like science, which I end up liking and didn't know it. But when I got with myself and went inside, I found I was down for some stuff that my homeboys and society around me didn't care nothing about. And I had to be okay with that because I decided to stop putting myself on the back burner. So I'm trying to reach for my ultimate spiritual fitness and let that gravitate outward. That's what these forums be all about. We get together, we share it. You know, we got some highs and lows, we got some laughs. You know, it might be some insecurity in the mix at the same time, but I've seen people get in this forum and kind of, I hear a lot of times, through fear and trembling, they still share their situation. And I feel like that's the identification that it takes for somebody that's on the call to say, hey, maybe I need to look at things differently. You know, no right or wrong, But guess what? Without identification, sometimes there's no connection. Sometimes you're gonna miss me every time because you're just talking about some bullshit.
Mm.
You get real with me, you know what I mean? I ain't gotta know nothing about your story, but if you getting real with me, I'm gonna know it.
But yeah, because you can't get nothing unless you're willing to share something, right?
Right.
So
That's right. That's right.
So I feel like
Okay, I gotta
you know,
unmute because I gotta chime in and say yes, I agree with that.
yeah, no fact.
But I'm
But I just
muting
feel
back
like I
though.
just
I'm
feel like
muting back.
God is moving, man. He's working and he's worthy of all the praise and acknowledgement because you know we will go through a lot of stuff in our life where we don't even invite him in to be a part of everything. But he set the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky there and left them there. And we walk past him every day like he didn't do that. We think about everything else all day long. Guess what? I got to pay these bills. I got to get some tires for my car. I got to get my hair cut. Right? I got a booger in my nose. We think about that all day long. Let that control our tempo.
That's right.
Somebody say God. Now we can't really chime in because that now comes a whole nother set of politics. Because if I don't say God like you said, God, we ain't on the same page. I can't even have this conversation with you. But I say I'm spiritually fit. I say I got my spiritual fitness on a 10.
Yes,
but
sir.
if you don't say
Yes, sir.
Jesus, and that's who I say I'm rocking with, I can't talk no more. What?
no, it doesn't have to be that way, right?
It don't have to. It don't have to. But that's you identifying the supreme being for yourself and how he's moving, and the next person being able to identify them. Maybe. It ain't never about the next person, though. It's always about you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't get it, you can't be mad that the next person don't get it. But if God chose you, that's the only one that matters. So if you don't make it a conscious effort to get as spiritually fit as possible, knowing that this could be you could be the one that's being called. And me and Mike talked about before about being chosen means that you are basically a conduit, meaning basically you are a bucket that's going to be filled with water to bring to people that's needy. If you don't acknowledge that, it don't matter because you was chosen. They need you. So all of that whole situation I just laid out depends on your spiritual fitness. Because if you ain't tapped into it, it won't happen. You might be letting a lot of people down.
I had to unmute, man. Like everything you said resonated with me. And man, since I met you, that is what it is. And since I've been talking in this room and I'm listening to everybody's story, we all on a level of connectivity. And there's so much room for growth. So much room for growth. And when you talk about the spirit, and then you provide this platform, man, and like for me to be able to connect with these people, I'm just so humble and grateful for that. Like honestly, I look through the room and I'm like, man, I can relate to everybody and their circumstances and what they went through, and just like the military aspect, the non-military, the racial differences, and I'm like, guess what though? But what we are now, right now, we are all people first that decided to share these things within ourselves and then be open, right? And not just open, but volatile and like patient. And in this space where we can hear another man talk to us and say, okay, well, this is what I think about it. And you just absorb that and think about it though, and be like, okay, I didn't think about that. Because if I run into you at the grocery store, at the gas station, and you got a problem with something that I said or whatever, I'm not about to let that absorb or sink in like that. Stop it. I'm not. I'm not. But for this to be this forum and this is the exchange, this is what we're doing. It provides something that's outside of the norm. And then for us to evolve as a species, we got to start doing things outside of the norm. We got to start inviting people into this space. We really do, though, because we can't grow. If you keep doing the same thing, this is what crazy is. You keep doing the same thing, expect a different result. That's crazy. You're doing the same shit. Why are you expecting for something different to happen? We doing something different now because we all came to a space and a point in our life where we want a different result. We want something different.
Right.
The
Right.
connectivity
Or,
that
or
we
else why
have.
even get on the call if you got
Thank
it
you.
all
Come
figured
on,
out?
man. That's no. We all
Get
in that
naked. Let's get
space.
vulnerable up in here.
We thank you, bro. And we entertaining that idea that just maybe somebody on the end of this call got a family that they want to provide for, got some ideas that they like, got some ideas they want to share, got some vulnerability, and they like, bro, this don't make me less than a man. I'm so emotionally strong, I can share this with a group full of men. Is there some other men that can share their shit with me? Because that's and when you provide that space, that's when you grow. Because you like, bro, yeah, hold on. I ain't the only one. I done walked by him in the grocery store. Never thought he had this type of depth inside of himself. But you know what it let me know? It validated me, right? Which I shouldn't need to be, but I'm human. And I'm like, wow, hold on. There's other men on this planet that think the same way that I think. And we all would want that interconnectivity to be like, you know what? I should be able to talk to another man about the shit that I'm going through. Why I gotta be so tough and so hardened that I can't say who I am and still be a man? Like that's not what life is. That's what
Because those are the
conditioned to believe.
preconditioned. Yeah, exactly.
Thank
Those
you.
are the preconditioned
There you
notions
go.
that
There
the
you
world
go.
taught
See,
us when
he
we were
just
young.
go right on with man. Right on what I'm going with, Rob. Right on where I'm going with, bro. No miscue. Because as I said the last word, you picked up the last word I said and went with it. Because we've been preconditioned to believe that's what society says we have to be.
Hey, which
And
we're
that's
all
not the
starting to
truth.
learn. I mean, it took
What
me a
is
long time. I'm in the back half of my life before that, even comprehending the idea that there is a softer side that I can provide to a lot of people, and more people are going to be able to listen to me and hear my message at that point. It took me a lot. I was well into my 30s. I was beyond grown man before, and I had to be knocked down a couple of pegs. I had to take those lumps. And
On the
then,
chin.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
shoot, trust me, yeah, I had to take those.
so
But
Rob is
I'm here
spiritual
today to be
is
able. Yeah,
just
go
question
ahead, Dwayne.
is spiritual fitness important to you and why?
You know what?
I'm
Absolutely,
sorry,
it's
just real quick,
important.
just real quick. I'm sorry, I gotta get up out of here, man. I'll talk to you during.
Hey,
All right.
Earl,
Hey,
it was
thanks
good
for
to
having
meet
me
you,
on the
brother.
call. I appreciate everybody on the call, man. Robert,
Oh man, bro, I
Queen,
appreciate you,
Mike.
man. I appreciate your
All
input,
right,
bro. Like, let's do this, man. We
I'm on
gotta
the
come
call
together
every
and do
time.
this.
I'm on the call every
And
time.
we gotta
Every
add to
time.
this though. Invite boys, bro. Bring people into this because this is where we start growing for real.
Let's go.
Right.
All right.
It's not as a black man, it's not as a white man, it's like us as a species, bro. We gotta grow. We gotta grow. It's not about me being Christian, Catholic, Muslim, whatever. We gotta grow. We gotta grow. We gotta grow. We gotta
Go
evolve. It's about us
go ahead,
having a
Rob.
platform. D,
Rob,
Dorian, man, like I'm
finish
telling you,
that.
bro.
Hold up, Mike.
you got to
Let
remind me where
Rob
I
finish
was, Dorian. I started listening to everything.
that.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm fired up too, Mike.
yeah. I'm sitting there listening to Mike Rowe. I'm like, hey, he got me ready to lift weights again. I'm like, hey, man. I was like, I know there's some dumbbells in here somewhere. Hold on, Nah,
Right
but
on.
no, hey, Mike, seriously, on that note, yes. I mean, we have to grow and we have to evolve because the world has evolved faster than we were ready to
Yes,
grow
sir.
as
Yes,
men
sir.
generally, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we were buried in those preconceived notions that, hey, your job is to
Yes, sir.
provide, your job is to be
Yeah.
tough, your job is to stand in
Yeah.
front, your job is to, hey,
Yeah.
I remember there was a time, I mean, I was the youngest brother. There was a time I'm walking through the mall at like 14 years old with my two older brothers, and they're like, they turn around, they look at me. Why do you look like that? I'm like, 14 years old. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, why do you look so affable? Why do you look so approachable? Why are you smiling?
Mm.
And I was like, you don't
Right.
see us? We're not smiling. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Yeah.
got to make yourself unapproachable. That way people don't come to you. Problems don't come to you.
Man,
And
I
those are
hear
the
you.
things, those are some of the things that, I was learning as a young man is, hey,
The
you know,
conditions. The conditions.
Right. So
right.
do
The
you think
conditions.
because of that conditioning that it clouded the need for you to be spiritually fit?
I just think in those days I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in my family in those days, I mean, being tough was everything. Being tough was first,
Yeah.
right? Being
Yeah.
tough,
Yeah.
be a man, be hard. Those
Yeah.
things came first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Conditions.
And as my spiritual journey, I had listened to a lot of people and tried different things. And I mean, hey, there was a time in my life where I was young, where I was dead set in the fact that, hey, God's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
God's not real. It's all just make believe. You know what I mean? And like I said, throughout my journey, there were things that happened that were just like, nah, that's just unequivocally not true.
Yeah.
So,
Man. Hey,
for
Rob.
me, I don't care what religion you believe in or what religion you practice. I think that you are going to learn good things from that. You're gonna learn some discipline. You're gonna learn, especially if you take it into, so I credit a lot of my friends that are very, very deep in their faith, no matter what faith that is. And I think that there's lessons for us all to hear. I don't care what it is that you practice. I'm sure there are lessons about my life that I can learn from that. And I do profess myself to go to Christian. I go to church every Sunday. But I'm not going to let that get in the way of me listening or learning a lesson from other people in the
Yeah.
world. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, Dorian?
Man. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you though, seriously, Rob, for real, that's the space in the room that I feel because I was born and raised Christian, but this is what I believe. I know if an event plays out in front of a person and there's a person standing next to them that didn't see the event because they was tying their shoes, and they tell that person the story, that person ain't gonna be able to tell the story the same way that it was that unfolded. And by the time it gets to the 18th person, that's not what happened.
Oh, absolutely. We learned that when we were kids, right?
So exactly. So I believe religion started the same way. We were all praising the same creator, but because of dialects and regions and the way things happen, is because God talks to us all individually. But there's always going to be somebody strong in any kind of group that dictates. Like man that messes up religion. God can't recreate perfect because he is. Right? So man is the only one that can mess up perfection because we fall short of being perfect. So when the word of God in existence and who the creator is depending on the man passing that story or that word on, it's imperfect. That ain't God's fault. That's our burden. We do that to each other. So if I'm like, all right, you Buddhist, but what is the fundamental basis of your religion? oh, love thy neighbor. Cool, because my religion says the same thing. And it says the same. But watch this though. Instead of us focusing on what brings us together, what do we focus on? What sets
What
us
sets us
apart?
apart? Right.
That's man. Man, come on. Man, can y'all come with me a little bit?
Quick question, Mike. Quick question.
Okay.
Quick question. Why is that important?
That is everything that defines who I am as a person, because I don't want to divide. I focus on what unites us. I come into this room with people, D, when I first met you, I'm like, I don't know about this dude. You shot one thing at me. I'm like, I'll rock with him D forever. Forever. You know why? Is because I'm always looking for what can connect me with somebody. You can tell me you Buddhist, you Muslim, you Catholic. I'm like, okay, well, what's in your heart? Because you on this forum. I'm like, bro, I'm like, all y'all work. Well, now the three of us here, we all work out. I'm like, okay, but cool. But you know what I see? I don't see the muscles. I see the heart. I'm like, bro, look, I look at you. I look, Rob, I look at you. I look at Dorian. I'm like, I know I work out. I'm like, they work out regimen a little bit different than mine. But you know what I see? You know what I see? I see what's in your heart, though. And I'm like, that's when I'm like, okay, we all in the same place. I don't see no color. I don't see we all bald. I don't see we all got on tight ass t-shirts. None of that. You know what I see? I see in our heart, we all the same. And that's the most important thing to me. Because that's where connectivity starts from, bro. It starts from here. This is a physical appearance that means absolutely zero. My perception of you is based on light reflecting off of dust particles in the air. Scientifically, I'm a fucking nerd.
Okay.
Right?
Bring down your refraction there, Mike. Let's hear it.
Your physical boundaries are only what visually is accepted for my interpretation of my eyes. If I was blind, would I know both of y'all was buffer than me? No, I would not. But you know what I would know? If I was blind, I would hear, right? I've been eliminated. One gift is sight, but I would hear what you're saying and I would still be able to connect with you. And I would still get the energy feeling, that sixth sense. Where's this person's heart? How do they feel? There's nothing more important than that. We carry the burden of going outside of the social norm and being able to come together right now and listen to each other and have this discussion and share things that men feel uncomfortable doing. Why? That should become the new norm.
One thing about that's so important that you just said, and that's definitely why I love to create this forum. Just because of that, because so many stereotypes, so much conditioning that we have, it's like with anything else. You bring up rocket science to a bunch of people. Only the cats that's in the rocket science is gonna have something to say.
Thank you.
So when I say spiritual conditioning, people
Only
really
the
ain't got a lot to
cats in
say on
spiritual
that.
condition got something to say.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
now I'm doing the same thing we talked about earlier. I'm shining light on something that needs to be shown, and a lot of people are not used to it. They're not ready for it. When the light hit it, they scramble. They're like, but start talking about football. Start talking about, you know what I mean, YouTube.
Something they can relate to.
Exactly. We gonna sound like a well-tuned orchestra, a chorus, right? But now we all talking different languages when it comes to talking about the spirit, and it don't have to be like that. Rob said that same thing. It don't have to be like that.
It don't have to be like that.
We just have to do what you just said: is get comfortable finding a place that those voices exist, because you might find that y'all can sing a perfect tune together too.
But you know what though? This is what's the irony about that is so much right now more than ever before. This is exactly what the world needs right now. exactly what the world needs right now. That's the irony in me chiming in, and I'm like, damn, really? This is exactly what the world needs right now because wars aren't started by regular people. Wars are started by one individual that's in his feelings so much that he convince a lot of people to
Difference
believe
of
it.
opinion.
That's all. Come on. That's it.
Right.
Right?
Difference of opinion.
That's it.
And a lack of a
But
safe
because you're
space.
so powerful, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm listening, Rob.
No, just, I mean, because the thing is we need men
Mama,
to
that's it.
understand that, yeah, there are places, there are times that are safe for you to share your ideas and your opinions and your inner thoughts among other men, right? And
Right.
as long as you're willing to not only share your thoughts, but be ready for some of the feedback. I mean, that feedback's not always going to be positive.
No.
But if you surround yourself with the people that you should be surrounding yourself with, they're going to give you the feedback in a way that you're going to be able to hear it.
Oh, Rob, come on, bro. Bring it, man.
So,
Bring it. I'm listening. I'm bringing. I'm listening, bro. I'm
no,
listening.
seriously. I mean,
No, that's
you know,
what I'm saying. I'm listening, bro. Like for real. That's the realest shit. It really is.
well, hey, I got two little girls. I tell them all the time, or, bringing them up, don't surround yourself with snakes. My ex-wife used to tell them, hey, if you mess around with trash, it's going to get in your eye, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we tell ourselves tell these things to our kids, and we need to know them as men or as parents or as going on to the next generation ourselves. It's, hey, if you keep weak people around you, you're only going to weaken yourself.
Yeah.
So, because you're not going to put people around you that's going to challenge you to be that better person, to be that better man.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
why I'm happy to be here, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you same shit though, Rob. Seriously, because when I met Dorian, honestly, bro, I saw him. I was like, okay, and like he replaced my homeboy's job. So I'm like, I might like we have beef with him. I might not never want to talk to him again. I didn't look at him no because my energy is always so fluent, and I'm like, get out of yourself and what you feel about somebody because you might have a missed opportunity to somebody you connect with, and they can show you some things about life you need to know about. Little
right.
did I know that 3 weeks later, my connection with him, I'm like, bro, like the universe, God made that happen for a reason because I was never on this level with the dude that I had loyalty to. I mean, still have loyalty to, but it wasn't like a trade or it wasn't like a deception or you know, I outstep boundaries. It was just the next level of where I was going in life. Perfect example, Rob. I meet you right now, just meeting you, right? And seeing you've given me a different purview of life. To me, that's priceless.
But you know
And
what,
I'm happy
Mike?
to be able to provide that for you, Mike.
With
Trust me,
that,
I've
Yeah,
gotten
with
just as
that,
much.
with that, what you
yeah,
just said, man, what I see in that is, I think that's a fair statement to make, you know. But the dynamic of the whole situation was that on a macro scale, God gonna move you to where He needs you at,
yeah. Man, come
and
on, big, come on,
he's gonna be
Dorian. Yep.
he's not gonna be unrecognizable when He show up if you seeking
Right.
Him. So, because it wasn't about me and you
It
connected,
wasn't about me. And come
it
on,
wasn't
fam.
about
It
that.
wasn't. It was
See what I'm
about
saying?
me allowing myself to be vulnerable to what he was giving me. And as soon as
Exactly,
I made myself
exactly,
vulnerable,
exactly. And
that's
you
when we
did. See,
connected.
that's the thing. Now you talking. Now you talking. When you start talking, you talk. When you was seeking, no, I'm saying, bro, watch this.
I feel you. I
When
feel
you
you.
position yourself to seek what He was gonna show you, He showed up. And it was totally recognizable. It wasn't coincidence. You weren't able to put all of those captions on it because of how it came. And you was seeking. And that's what, when we say being vulnerable and allowing that spiritual fitness to be a central part of your life and how you moving, that's what happens.
That's what happens, bro.
Straight
That's
up.
what happens.
And you,
Hey,
like you
it's
said,
only
talking to the person next to you, saying hi, person that you didn't even expect to have nothing to say.
right, man.
You
Come
open
on, bro.
yourself to be vulnerable enough, to be human enough,
Yeah,
to be talk
yeah,
toable, and this person
right,
says the perfect thing that you needed to hear. But if you
man.
was doing you, if you was just gonna be Rob for the day, the
Right,
conversation never happened.
right.
If you was just
Hey,
gonna be Mike for the day, all
right.
you
It
want to
wouldn't
do is tell
happen.
this person to get off your bench.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, how many sets you
yeah.
got. That's it. And you said it
That's
with
it.
attitude. So
That's
you
it.
shut down
What?
the opportunity for
That,
for
bro,
dialogue to
come
happen,
on, man.
right?
Wow,
But when you
Mhm.
open
wow,
and you carrying
wow.
that glow every
Yeah,
step of the way as much as possible, like Rob said, waking up in the morning with him on
right.
your mind, and on
Yeah,
your thoughts and on your tongue. When you get to that place, oh man, the sky's the limit. And he starts showing you shit. You like, damn.
yeah.
And you might pass it off once or twice, but then bam, here it go again. Bam, here it go again. And it's now it's undeniable
That's right.
that he's moving.
That's
No
right.
question,
That's seriously, bro.
right?
And
Oh,
this was
absolutely.
something.
Definitely.
Let me share this because I gotta go. I gotta get up at
Yeah.
2:30 in the morning. I don't know how y'all move, but I'm gonna share this with y'all. It's only when you realize you're in your darkest hour that you're completely capable of receiving the light of your life. Man, I don't know how that got y'all, but I'm sharing that with y'all right now. It's only when you really accept that you're in your darkest hour that you can completely receive the light in your life. Man, come on, y'all, please. Hey,
You gotta,
whoa,
hey,
hold on. Wait, hold on.
you gotta go
Hold
through
on,
some
hold on.
things to get to some things. If you ain't went through nothing and you ain't going through nothing, you
Man,
might need to
come
look, you might need to be worried.
on.
You know what I mean? Because that's damn
Right.
near saying God ain't got nothing for you. And I know better than that.
Right.
You
Right.
better
Come on.
hope if you got, it's almost like they said, if you ain't got no haters, you doing something wrong.
Oh man, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
And so
And I say that to
be
say
ready
this.
for all that to happen.
I say that to say this. I say that to say I had accepted a certain level of darkness in my life, looking forward to my future and where I was and like the people that I allowed to surround me. I accepted that darkness. And as soon as I accepted that darkness, this light came into my life.
Mm.
I'm gonna drop that ball right there. I'm talking to two men right now, like-minded. We going deep in, and I can share this with y'all. And I plan on sharing things with y'all forever. But that's where I am right now. That's exactly where I am. I accepted the darkness of the people I surround. Like, am I just supposed to always be bleeding out? I gotta bleed out because you did on the cross. Like, I gotta bleed out. Okay, cool. If that's what you want me to do, I can't get nobody want to nourish none of this. I can't get a heel, a band-aid. Like, can I get some a sponge with the come on, somebody help me. A sponge with the vinegar. I can't get none of that.
Amen.
And wait, hold on. And as soon as I accepted that, I said, okay, I'm supposed to not get no help. I said, nah, you is. You just had to submit to that. You had to submit to that. You had to submit to the idea that you gonna follow me no matter what. The only help you need is me.
Mm.
Come on, man. Come on. This goosebumps, is that what you call it?
Oh
on,
man, that's you. Yeah, that's a lot, man. You gonna take us into the next couple of hours with that one,
Right? Like,
shoot.
you gotta submit to the fact that I'm the only thing you need. You yelling for help for real? You yelling for
No,
help?
I'm
Hold on.
pretty sure.
You know why? Because I carried you. I keep carrying you. No, don't ask for help. Trust in me. I will give you what you need when you need it, because I know what you need. Submit to me, and I got you. As soon as I'm like, all right, well, cool. This is what I'm supposed to do. Then as soon as I say that, Dorian's like, hey, homie, come here, come talk to you for a minute. I'm like, about what, bro? He's like, I want to talk to your son. I'm like, all right, well, that's my son. You know him. I trust you. Go talk to him. He's like, you know what? I want to talk to you. I'm like, that's cool. First 2 times it didn't even work out, but I'm talking to him the whole time.
Mm.
And then he like, bro, every time I talk to you, I'm telling him, like, bro, I feel the same way. Then I get here, and then I'm like, he like, Mike, he said, man, I talked to you. I was talking to him earlier. I was like, bro, let's save this. He's like, nah, this is our moment. This is between us. I said, can you bring this up? He's like, I'll bring up what I can bring up, and don't worry about that. And then we get to this, and it's something else, but that's how it grows. Right? It's not about what we want, because our time ain't his time. It's not his time. It's when you surrender and accept. It's when you get what you've been asking for, but it ain't about what you need. It's not, because the only thing you need is to submit to faith.
So now, Mike, you hitting, you I smell what you stepping in. Let's look at it like
Really?
that.
Did I step in it too much, bro?
Listen, no. You brought it full circle till I can say this now. That is application of spiritual fitness.
Oh, I did that, right?
You get it? Now watch this.
Man, bro,
Because
seriously.
the whole thing
Without
you
even
just
knowing.
said, the whole thing you just said was predicated upon a one-on-one understanding. What happened to you was a direct connection when you submitted, not to everybody else, not to I'm gonna do better at home, not to I'm gonna clean up the damn bathroom or the garbage, take out the garbage. You submitted to him because you said it's that's over. Look, if I'm gonna get some direction, if you're gonna change my mind about something, it's gotta be you and only you. You are developing your spiritual fitness.
Absolutely. That's 100, bro.
You open yourself up and submit it.
Yeah, it
So
really
now
is, though.
he's gonna be the one that builds you.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one to provide your spiritual fitness.
Yeah.
So when I say spiritual conditioning, it's based on how you're working the muscle and the muscle connectivity between you and him.
Absolutely.
One-on-one.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Fitness.
That's real. That's
it ain't a group thing. It ain't a damn buddy system.
No.
It's me and him.
Yeah. All the time.
You can do it all. He gonna put it like this. You can do it all with his help.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Yeah, Rob.
Come on.
Take us out.
Take
man.
us out. Rob, come on. Take us out, Rob. Take us out.
Honestly, as you were talking, Mike, I sit there and I think, you know what I mean? And the ideas that kept coming in my head were surrounding the idea of pollution, right?
Yeah.
Because think about it this, we all know you sit in the city, you're in downtown Sacramento, you look at the sky, you don't see any stars, right? You don't see no stars no more. You know they're there.
No. Light pollution.
There's so much light pollution in the city that you can't see. So I equate it to the idea of sometimes you're walking in a world that's so bright that you can't see his light because you don't know to look for it. And it's not until that your world darkens a little bit that you realize that,
come on, bring it. Bring
that
us home,
you're looking for something, you need something, and then when that world gets dark, that's when you realize that light has always been there.
Oh, come on,
what you reach out and grab it. You just got to reach out and grab his hand and walk it. He's going to lead you. The light is there.
Yes, sir.
For wherever there is darkness,
never let
there.
you. That is the truth.
So, hey, I appreciate your story, Mike. Dorian, same thing, man. Just remember, hey, brothers, love you.
Hey, love y'all, man. Like, seriously, bro, we got to keep doing this stuff. This ain't the conclusion, right? This is the beginning. Like, seriously, we got to, man. And we got to bring more young brothers, right? And sisters, like, into the folds, because if we don't start something where we can begin to change and have a platform that we share and connect, then it's all for nothing. Like, God created life for a reason.
Yeah. Stay tuned, fellas. That's all I like to say.
D, I appreciate you always, big dog.
Yeah, all the feedback was appreciated, man. just want to wrap this one up. It's been a good one. You know, I feel like it was so much value, and this will be on YouTube. So
Okay.
just check it out on Dorian Adams Motivation.
Right on, bro.
And just thank you guys for your participation, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you.
Thanks again for the
providing
invite,
platform,
Dorian.
bro.
Talk to you next
Absolutely,
time.
man. Every time.
All
Rob, have a good one, man.
Hey,
All right,
good to
I'll
meet you
tap in
too,
with
Mike.
both of
Hey,
y'all
nice meeting you, brother.
individually.
Have a good night, Tasha.
All right,
All right. All right.
take it easy,
All right,
guys.
y'all.
Yeah.
All
All right, go.